This is the O2C Media Network, and this is Steve Sporty Balls live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk in the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson. I'm Harry Von Stuttgart, and Steve Sporty Balls are presented royally by the O2C Media Network. Now, with the details that makes the headlines in the world of sports go round and up your address. Here's the man with the plan, and his name ain't Stan. Here's the man with the biggest sporty balls in the world, Steve, the Baxman Baxley. All right, how you doing, everybody? Good evening. Welcome. Welcome, everybody, to Steve's Sporty Balls. Yes, today our Sporty Balls have never looked better. And yes, I know we're a little late, but I had some business to attend to, and now that business has concluded. And boy, am I glad of that. Anyway, we welcome you to this fine program, and we hope we'll continue to do this fine program. At least we hope so. Either way, we hope you enjoy it. And so, with that said and everything else said, because we got a lot to talk about, including some big broadcasting, a big shakeup. Look at there. Big shakeup for Fox NFL Sunday. And boy, this is a kicker, I'll tell you. Anyway, we'll talk about all that coming up, but right now, let's get our sporty balls in an uproar. It's time for a little hoop talk. That's right, it's time to get your hoop on. Bang a gong, Donkey Kong, let's get that hoop on. Yes, sir. By the way, all of our scores presented to you by the fine folks at Caesars Sportsbook and Casino. That's right, Caesars Sportsbook and Casino, where it's all beautiful. And always remember, Caesars Sportsbook and Casino, we are all Caesars, but even Caesars have their limits. And if you've reached your limits and need a little help, call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700. That's 1-800-522-4700. And with that said, let's rock, let's roll, let's get it done. All righty. And by God, Martha, we got some great balls coming here. That's right. Let's go to it. They're in the third quarter already. And by the way, we should check that. You know, we should. We should check that. And we are going to check it. Oh, joy. Oh, Raptor. Oh, McGilligorilla. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Let's check it out right now. We're at the, I'm going to say we're midway in the third quarter. It's the Washington Wizards 61, LA Lakers 53. Yiza, Miza, Boo Boo, Badoo. All right, let's get to the final scores. That's the only game still going on as we spurk. Orlando Magic over the Minnesota Timberwolves by a score of 118-110. Boston Celtics defeat the Detroit Pistons 114-103. It was the Atlanta Hawks over the LA Clippers 112-106. Hornets of Charlotte over the New Orleans Pelicans 142-120. Miami Heat over Cleveland Cavaliers 117-105. Dallas Mavericks over Houston Rockets 113-100. Memphis Grizzlies over the New York Knicks 118-114. San Antonio Spurs over the Utah Jazz by a score of 104-102. And the Toronto Raptors beat the Phoenix Suns 117 to 112. And if you think we're done, we are not, dear sirs, dear people. No, we are not done. Let's take you on a ride with a slide and a little googly. A little one, a little two, a little three. All right, let's get to it. The women's college basketball scoreboard. And if I can turn back time, I would really turn it. All right, let me just get things on the flow here. All righty, we're ready. All right, in the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championships quarterfinals, fourth-ranked Baylor outlasted Oklahoma State 76 to 36. Also, in the other quarterfinals for the Big 12 Championship, seventh-ranked Texas over Kansas State by a score of 72 to 65. We also had 10th-ranked Iowa State over West Virginia, 66 to 60. Do we have the bell? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. The 21st ranked. What the smeg? Come on, get back over there. Come on, get back over there. Excuse us. No, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. Oh boy, our control room is okay. Let's try it again, but remember where we left the parking lot. All right. Let's see. Okay, I think we're right here. All right, 10th ranked Iowa State. You sure we got that far? Yeah. Okay, thank you. 10th ranked Iowa State over West Virginia, 66 to 60. 21st ranked Oklahoma beating Kansas 80 to 68. And in the Ivy League tournament presented by TIAA, it was the 24th ranked Princeton going up against Harvard, and Princeton beat them 72 to 67. All right, let's rock and roll with the gentlemen in college basketball. And I know we probably got a whole boatload, and I'm going to do it like this. Why? Because I can. Yes. Let's make this one worth it, boys. Okay, we got one game still going on. It's early in the first. It is the Pac-12 tournament semifinal. 21 ranked USC leads 13th ranked UCLA 11 to 9. Let's go for some final scores in the Pac-12 tournament semifinal. Number 2 ranked Arizona beat Colorado 82-72. In the SEC tournament quarterfinal, it was Texas A&M over 4th ranked Auburn 67-62. In another SEC tournament quarterfinal, 5th ranked Kentucky over Vanderbilt 77-71. In the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship, it was 6th ranked Kansas over TCU 75-62. In the New York Life ACC tournament semifinals, 7th ranked Duke passed Miami 80-76. In the Big East tournament semifinals, 8th ranked Villanova over 20th ranked UConn 63-60. In another SEC tournament quarterfinal, 9th ranked Tennessee put some bourgeois on Mississippi State 72-59. Big Ten tourney, 9th ranked Purdue upset Penn State by a score of 69 to 61. Actually, I don't think it was an upset. I think it was a mercy. In the Big East tournament semi, Creighton over 11th ranked Providence 85-58. In another Big Ten tournament quarterfinal, Michigan State hit that button again, boys. Hit that bell. They beat 12th ranked Wisconsin 69-63. Wazoo. 14th ranked Texas Tech beat Oklahoma by a score of 56-55 in the Big 12 championship presented by Phillips 66. Indiana in the Big Ten tournament beat number 16 Illinois 65-63. Wow. In the Air Force Reserve American Athletic Conference Championship quarterfinals, 18th ranked Houston defeated Cincinnati by a score of 69-56. In New York Life ACC Tournament semifinals, Virginia Tech over 25th ranked North Carolina 72-59. In the SEC Tournament, number 15th ranked Arkansas over LSU 79-67. Another Big Ten tournament quarterfinal, 24th ranked Iowa over Rutgers, 84-74. And in the Mountain West Championship, midnight, which they're at right now, so they just started. San Diego State taking on 23rd ranked Colorado State. There we go. Are we done? No, not really. We just got one more group to call upon, and that just happens to be the G League. That's right, G League, as always, presented with good taste and quality by the folks at Gatorade. Is it in you? That's all I want to know. Is it in you? If it is, do you scream? All right, there we go. Ish. Ishy, ishy, shooba doop. Ishy, ishy, poop. All right. We always wait for the scores to pop up. And let's see. Oh, yeah, they did some popping. All right. They overpopped. Here we go. Cleveland Charge over the Wisconsin Herd, 129-119. Motor City Cruise over the Maine Celtics, 105-98. Austin Spurs over the Sioux Falls Skyforce, 112-97. And the Rio Grande Valley Vipers over the Iowa Wolves, 124-106. Yay. Yay, verily. Okay, let's get on to from the hardwood to the hard synthetic ice. That's right. We go to from the hardwood to the hard synthetic ice. That's right. And let's do that. Let's do that exactly. Okay. Not a lot going on, folks, for um tonight's edition of our hockey report. Let's just get started, shall we? Yes, we shall. 16 minutes, 41 seconds left to play in regulation. Washington Capitals, Vancouver Canucks are tied at 2. All right, let's get some finals. Pittsburgh Penguins over the Golden Knights of Vegas, 5-2. Rust for Pittsburgh, 1 goal, 1 assist. Carter for Pittsburgh, 1 goal, 1 assist. Friedman for Pittsburgh, 1 goal. In a shootout, the Columbus Blue Jackets nailed the Minnesota Wild 3-2. Mertzlikins for Columbus, 36 saves. Chinakhov for Columbus, 1 goal. And Werenski for Columbus, also a goal. And New York Islanders over the Winnipeg Jets, 5-2. Bailey for the Islanders, 2 goals. Nelson for the Islanders, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Varlamov for the Islanders, 27 saves. And that's it for that. Or is it? No, it's not over till we say it's over. Doggone it. That's right. It's time. It's time for our college hockey segment. And wow, we might have a fill up here. For the men, here we go in the AHA tournament. AIC over Bentley, 5-2. Mercyhurst over Canisius in 2 overtimes, 2-1. Air Force beat Army in overtime, 5-4. RIT defeated Sacred Heart in overtime, 1-0. 18th ranked Cornell over Colgate, 3-1. Harvard over Rensselaer in overtime, 4-3. Also in overtime, 17th ranked Clarkson beat Union 3-2. 6th ranked Quinnipiac defeated St. Lawrence in a regular game 4-1. In the NCHC tournament, it was 5th ranked North Dakota over Colorado College 2-1. 7th ranked Western Michigan over 19th ranked Omaha 4-2. 10th ranked Minnesota Duluth over 9th ranked St. Cloud 5-2. 3rd ranked Denver over Miami 5-2. In a non-conference action, Arizona State over LIU by a score of 2-1. Now, we've done the men. It's time for us to give equality to the ladies, but they don't have any action. That's right, no games for the ladies. Ain't that the honest truth? There's no games with ladies. Anyway, that'll do it for that. So that means we go to the minor leagues. And if you will excuse me, folks, I must call upon the strength of thousands, because I'm hearing a noise, and we do have winds here, so if you will pardon me, I shall call upon my friend of four legs, the incredible one, who usually pops with the camera. She's left the camera. She's right there. Okay, girl, there you go. Nice little choo-choo for you. All right. Time now for a look at the scoreboard in the American Hockey League as our tour of duty begins in the minor league action. And right now we got three games. Wow, we got three games that are still going on. All of them in the third. Let's give them to you, shall we? 16:40 left to play in the third, and it is the Colorado Eagles and the Abbotsford Canucks scoreless. Shocking. 10-10. Well, we'll just say it this way. 10 minutes left to play in the third period. San Diego Gulls lead the Bakersfield Condors 2-0. 13 minutes left to play between the Stockton Heat and the San Jose Barracuda, with the Barracuda lead 5-3. Final scores: Hershey Bears over the Bridgeport Islanders 2-1. Charlotte Checkers over the Springfield Thunderbirds 5-1. Is that all? No. Grand Rapids Griffins mercifully handled the Cleveland Monsters with a score of 6-1. The Utica Comets blew up the Toronto Marlies 3-2. The Lehigh Valley Phantoms over the Laval Rocket 4-3. Syracuse Crunch over the Rochester Americans 3-2. In a shootout, it was Belleville Senators over the Manitoba Moose 4-3. In a shootout, it was Rockford Ice Hogs over the Milwaukee Admirals 4-3. In just your regular old-fashioned game, it was Texas Stars over the Tucson Roadrunners. Beep, beep. 3-2. Okay, that's the AHL. You know what time it is, kids. That's right, folks. It is time for the Big O Western Ontario Hockey League. That's right. We dance with our partners. Yahoo! Okay, there we go. 10 games played on Friday. Let's give you all 10 of them, shall we? That's right. Erie beat Windsor 6-4. Kingston beat Oshawa 7-2. Let's keep the ball rolling. Hamilton over Mississauga 5-1. Barrie over Niagara 6-3. In a shootout, Peterborough over Ottawa 2-1. Another shootout. Owen Sound over Saginaw over Owen Sound almost went through. Saginaw over Owen Sound 7-6. Guelph over Sarnia 5-1. North Bay over Sudbury by a score 7-1. The Sioux over Kitchener 5-3. And Flint over London 6-2. There is your Ontario Hockey League scores. Yes, sir. Hey, Matt, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Great to have you here. All righty, let's get you some more wonderful minor league hockey. We did 2 for 2. Let's go for the rest. Let's go to the echo of our heart, the East Coast Hockey League. Yes, we're going to the East Coast Hockey League. Wahoo, wahoo. And again, we hit the wrong button. We always do that. We hit that wrong button, and when that happens, our producer gets awfully embarrassed. All right, let's do this. Let's make it palpable, make it hip, and leave us to make things exciting and new. All right, let's go to it. We hit the ball and we say the following: Utah Grizzlies over the Kansas City Mavericks 3-1. Allen Americans over the Tulsa Oilers 5-1. Iowa Heartlanders over the Fort Wayne Comets 6-3. Cincinnati Cyclones over the Wheeling Nailers 8-5. Norfolk Admirals over the Atlantic Gladiators 4-3. Toledo Walleye over the Idaho Steelheads 3-1. Worcester Railers over the Adirondack Thunder 5-4. Greenville Swamp Rabbits over the South Carolina Stingrays 4-1. Kalamazoo Wings blanked the Indy Fuel 2-0. Newfoundland Growlers over the Trois Rivières Lions 6-1. And that is your scoreboard right there. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Steve, you forgot to do something. And yes, I did. I forgot to read Matt's other note. I'm doing all right. Thanks for stopping by Kitsu's stream last night. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a blast. It was a blast. I totally enjoyed it. Okay. Okay, we got the Echo. Let's go from the Echo down to the Southern Professional Hockey League, or as we affectionately call them, the Spiel. And then we do one last one, and then we go back and tell you what's coming up Saturday night in the National Hockey League. Our tradition doth continue, sir. Let's kick one. There we go. Nope, we will take our scores. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's rock the scoreboard. Fayetteville Marksmen over the Macon Mayhem 7-3. Knoxville Ice Bears. Knoxville Ice Bears. Love hockey. They beat the Quad City Storm 4-2. Evansville Thunderbolts over the Birmingham Bulls 4-3. And believe it or not, a shootout. Huntsville Havoc over the Vermilion County Bobcats 4-2. Pensacola Ice Flyers over the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs 5-4. And that is the end of that little cycle. And thus, and therefore, and there we are. All right, let's go for one last roll of the dice to the Federal Prospects Hockey League, so we can wrap this week up with a nice little high note. We got some headlines for you and everything else you need to know in the world of sports, and I just hit the wrong button again. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm getting used to this now. All righty, let's go to the scores, and we've only got 3 Friday nighters for you. Shall we? Okay, I think we will. Carolina over Delaware 6-3. Watertown over Port Huron 3-0, and Danbury over Binghamton by a score of 7-5. So there you go. Right there in the nutshell. That is your scoreboard. Now, before we sail on in the conclusion of our hockey, we have to revisit the NHL. Why do we have to revisit the NHL? Because folks, if it's Friday and our sporty balls are looking festive, it must be, yes, time to check what's coming up Saturday. That's right. It's Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, hockey night in the world. Let's go to our Saturdays. And as always, we got 2 afternoon games for you on a Saturday. We got the St. Louis Blues paying a visit to the Nashville Predators at 12:30. That game to be called and carried on the NHL Network in the States. In Canada, it'll be seen on Sportsnet. In St. Louis, it'll be seen on Bally Sports Midwest, and in Nashville, it'll be on Bally Sports South. Philadelphia visits Carolina, 3 o'clock. Game will be carried on ESPN Plus and ESPN Plus on Hulu, plus ABC in the United States, Sportsnet in Canada. The Detroit Red Wings visit Calgary for the 7 o'clock contest. Of course, as you know, 7 o'clock is Hockey Night in Canada night. And Hockey Night in Canada, Detroit at Calgary. That'll be on Sportsnet 1, Sportsnet West, and Bally Sports Detroit. Arizona and Boston, 7 p.m. on NESN and Bally Sports Arizona. All right, the first of the two double dips for the CBC. Seattle pays a visit to Montreal. That game, of course, national for us on the NHL Network. For our Canadian viewers, on the CBC, on Sportsnet East, Sportsnet Pacific. For French Canadian viewers, it'll be on TVA Sports. And for Seattle folks, it'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Our other 7 p.m. game, Chicago will be visiting Ottawa. That game will be shown on City TV, Sportsnet Ontario, and for our French Canadian viewers, they can get it on the second TVA Sports channel, and for Chicago folks, they'll be on NBC Sports Chicago. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks pay a visit to the New Jersey Devils. Let's hope it's for a fish fry. Aha! That game will be carried on MSG Plus, Bally Sports SoCal, and Bally Sports San Diego. 8 o'clock game will be New York Rangers at the Dallas Stars. That game on Bally Sports Southwest and MSG. 9:30 p.m. game, the Los Angeles Kings play visitor to the San Jose Sharks at 9:30. That'll be on NBC Sports California and Bally Sports West. They're going to need a bigger boat. And the 10 o'clock second portion of the double dip of Hockey Night in Canada on CBC will be, well, actually, it's now Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet. Will be the Tampa Bay Lightning, the two-time Stanley Cup defending champions, at the Edmonton Oilers. Game on CBC, Sportsnet, Sportsnet 360, City, and in the Florida area on Bally Sports Sun. That is your Saturday hockey extravaganza beginning at 12:30. There you go, right there in the nutshell. So we are done showing our nuts. Wow. Okay, let's get you some headlines and breaking news. He done did it. That's right. If you're one of the many people who believe Greg Popovich, how you doing? Let's try that again. If you're one of the many people who believe Greg Popovich is the greatest coach in NBA history, you can add another bullet point to your argument. With the San Antonio Spurs' 104-102 win over the Utah Jazz on Friday, Popovich passed Big Daddy Don Nelson to be the NBA's all-time winningest coach with 1,336 career victories. Now, over the league's 75-year history, only 4 coaches have held that distinction of being the career wins leader at any point in time. The legendary Red Auerbach of the Boston Celtics. You had Lenny Wilkins. You had Don Nelson, and now Greg Popovich, who has won 5 NBA championships with San Antonio and has more regular season wins than 6 franchises. Throughout the years, Popovich has always deflected credit in the direction of those around him, players and coaches, downplaying one of the most decorated coaching resumes in all of sports. Earlier this season, Popovich was asked what the keys to his coaching success have been. He said, quote, "Draft Tim Duncan. After that, stay alive." Oh, we truly love him. Indeed, Pop would have you believe that any coach with a beating heart could have led those Spurs teams built around Duncan to great heights. He doesn't think he's anything special, but he is. Everyone knows it. He lucked into drafting Duncan, who arrived in San Antonio for Pop's first season as head coach in 97-98. Season prior, the Spurs, who had won 59 games in 95-96, went 20-62 because David Robertson went down with maybe the most fortuitous injury in history and only played 6 games that season. That 1 year crash landed the Spurs in the lottery where they had the third best odds of landing the number one pick, or 21%. There we go. It was the Boston Celtics who had the best odds, 36% to get Duncan, but fortune fell San Antonio's way. They got Duncan. It would be silly to suggest that didn't change Pop's fortunes as well. The Spurs won a title 2 seasons later. But don't let that fool you. All the great coaches inherit great players in some capacity. They either draft them, trade for them, sign them as a free agent, or get hired by a team that already has them on its roster. However it happens, there's always luck involved. The NBA just named Steve Kerr one of the 15 greatest coaches in history. You can thank Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala for that distinction and the first of his 3 coaching titles. And all these guys, plus Kevin Durant for the next 2. Phil Jackson can thank Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Nick Nurse can thank his lucky stars Kawhi Leonard chose to take a 1-year Canadian detour on his way home to Los Angeles. Mike Budenholzer got hired by a team that looked into Giannis Antetokounmpo with the 15th pick back when nobody thought they'd ever have to learn how to spell his name, let alone say it. Lucking into great players isn't the point, it's what you do with those players. And Pop has always gotten the most out of the rosters with which he has been afforded. He's been adaptable, winning titles with 3-point heavy systems, despite his disdain for the existence of the shot itself, as well as on the strength of Twin Tower big men. This is perhaps the greatest coach in history in terms of evaluating with an open mind what he has to work with, then developing a plan in accordance with the strengths and weaknesses of those pieces. He's not set in his ways. He learns from his players as much as they learn from him. That Popovich has done it all with one franchise only makes this sweeter. He was a central part of the Spurs' intelligence that drafted Kawhi Leonard in the middle of the first round. Oh, boy. Here we go again. It landed up. Okay, good. All right, let's put you over here. Let's put you somewhere like over here. There we go. Okay, he drafted Kawhi Leonard in the middle of the first round, Tony Parker in the end of the first round, and Manu Ginobili at the end of the second round. He helped develop those players into Hall of Famers, who in turn helped Pop grow into a coach that has now won more games than any other coach in history. And the credit goes both ways, even if Popovich will forever be reluctant to accept the bows. And if you excuse me, I know someone's not going to accept a bow. He's going to accept some treats. There you go, little one. Choo, choo, choo. Yes, indeed. Choo, choo, choo. And there is a chew. Porvu, yes. All right. Just feeding the cat. Giving her some treats for doing a great job at the camera. Thank you very much. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, how's this for a fine how do you do, vous? On Friday, Major League Baseball, in conjunction with the MLB Players Association, placed Dodger pitcher Trevor Bauer on administrative leave for 7 days. Mandatory reporting day in spring training for each MLB player is Sunday, so the 7 days will be March 13th through the 19th. Bauer last pitched on June 28th last season. In the days following that start, he was accused of sexual assault and then was placed on administrative leave, eventually via extensions for the rest of the season, much of the extensions being 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time, sweet Jesus. On February 8th, we learned that Bauer would face criminal charges in the matter. Now, this doesn't, however, prevent Major League Baseball from suspending Bauer. It has previously suspended multiple players after charges have been dropped. The league is fully within its right under the domestic violence and sexual assault policy to continue its investigation and then apply any punishment it deems fit at the conclusion of said investigation. To this point, the only thing the league has said is that the investigation is ongoing. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts was asked about Bauer's status Friday, and he said he won't quote close the door completely, end quote, on Bauer joining the team in spring training. Bauer, the 31-year-old, signed a 3-year, $102 million contract with the Dodgers prior to last season. He was 8-5 with a 2.59 ERA and 1.0 WHIP, with 137 strikeouts and 107 2/3 innings with the Dodgers before he was placed on leave. Bam. All right. All right, here we go. Let's rock and roll with a little college basketball. Missouri, well, after 5 seasons on the job, Quanzo Martin is out as Missouri's head coach. The school announced Friday Missouri's season ended with a thud, 76-68 loss to LSU in the second round of the SEC tournament on Thursday. The move comes after a 12-21, 5-13 in the SEC season for the Tigers, who made 2 NCAA tournament appearances during Martin's tenure. The former Tennessee and California coach departs with a 78-77 record during his time with the program. Let me straighten that out. All right. Let's do this here. Martin left Cal after 3 seasons to replace Kim Anderson after Anderson's 3-year run that saw the Tigers go just 27-68, 8-46 in the SEC. Now, given the status of things upon his arrival, Martin overachieved by getting his first team to the 2018 NC2A tournament. That team finished 20-13, 10-8 in the SEC, and earned a number 8 seed for the big dance before bowing out with the loss to Florida State in the first round. But in the 4 years since, Missouri failed to finish with a winning record in SEC play amid injuries and unmet expectations. Martin promptly signed the nation's number 4 ranked recruiting class upon taking the job as he landed 5-star brothers Michael and Jonte Porter in the 2017 signing class. However, Michael Porter played in just 3 games for the Tigers due to injury, and Martin was unable to replicate that recruiting success in future classes. Missouri reached the number 10 in the AP poll last season amid a 13-3 start, but the Tigers faded down the stretch by losing 7 of their final 10 games, including a round of 64 NC2A tournament game against Oklahoma. And amid departures of Missouri's 4 top scorers from last season's team, Martin retooled his roster via the transfer portal. But things got off to a rough start with non-conference losses to the likes of Kansas and Liberty, and they never improved. The 92-86 home victory over Alabama on January 8th highlighted this season's accomplishments, but that game was followed up with an 87-43 loss at Arkansas 4 days later. So the search is on for a new coach. Ain't that the truth? All righty. Hello, Dandelion. How are you, sweetness? Excuse-moi. All right. Hey, some good news for the Houston Texans. And believe it or not, it is good news. Deshaun Watson will not face charges on 9 criminal complaints following a police investigation into 22 civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct in massage sessions. A grand jury in Harris County, Texas, determined on Friday. 9 women made criminal complaints against Watson, 8 of which were represented by Tony Busby, who is the main attorney for the 22 women that sued the Texans quarterback. 8 of those women testified before the grand jury on Friday. The grand jury returned 9 no bills on the complaints presented to prosecutor Jana Stallings, who issued the following statement, quote, "Today we presented 9 criminal complaints for consideration for the grand jury beginning at 9 o'clock this morning. We presented evidence for over 6 hours for the grand jury to consider, as well as having witnesses available for those persons to testify in front of the grand jury. And the grand jury considered all of that evidence and returned 9 no bills against Deshaun Watson involving these 9 criminal complaints. We respect the grand jury's decision and conclude the criminal proceedings in Harris County. Ohm." End quote. Watson also released a statement after grand jury decision via Pro Football Network's Aaron Wilson. He said, quote, "I thank everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides. That's what my team wanted, was to have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided." Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, also released a statement via NFL Network's Ian Rappaport saying, "It's time to let Deshaun move on. This is true." Okay, wow. All righty, we have done that. Wow. If you watched SmackDown tonight on Fox, well, you saw something unscripted. Big E suffered a broken neck during Friday's episode of SmackDown. He was stretchered off after a terrible landing during the show's opening match. The former WWE champion landed on the crown of his head while taking a suplex outside of the ring. Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland kicked off Friday's episode of SmackDown. During the match, Holland delivered a belly-to-belly suplex to Big E outside the ring. Big E did not fully rotate to his back and instead took the bump square on the top of his head. Big E appeared to be injured and laid motionless after landing on the ground. Commentator Michael Cole noted that medical personnel were attending to the member of New Day. He shared a video on social media confirming the serious injury suffered while ensuring he will be okay. So there you go. So to say wrestling may indeed be scripted, but injuries do happen. Now, footage captured by fans in attendance showed Big E being stretchered away during the match. WWE did not air footage of the superstar being stretchered out. The promotion will generally cut to footage of medical personnel if the injury is scripted as part of a storytelling angle. This definitely was not. All righty. Let's keep this ball of wax going because we got some extra time because we started a little late. Yes, and I'm glad he's okay too. That's our headlines. Let us right now take you to the Board of International Sports, where we will also update you on some of the action taking place. Looks like the Lakers are in the lead. We'll give you all the updates in just a few moments. Right now, let's take you on a brief ride through the world of international sports. In championship soccer, West Bromwich and Huddersfield Town tied at 2. In the FA Trophy quarterfinals, it was Wrexham over Notts County 2-1. Scottish Championship, Kilmarnock over Ayr United 3-1. In the Lowlands, it was East Stirlingshire 4, Gretna 2. In Sirmu Premier, Ballatown over Flint Town United 3-2. Newtown over Carnarvon Town 4-0. Irish Premiership, Linfield over Crusaders 3-2. In Spanish La Liga, Atletico Madrid over Cadiz 2-1. French Ligue 1, Saint-Étienne and Lille tied at 0. And that's not enough. Portuguese Premier League action, Benfica over Vizela, or actually tied with Vizela, 1-1. Ooh, gnarly. Okay. Let's get to the live sport, and then we'll get to the media because there has been some big moves. We'll tell you all about it shortly. And then we will fade away into the dust of time. And also because it's Saturday. Dandelion said, don't follow wrestling, but I don't like to hear about people getting hurt in any sport. Well, neither do I. Let's go to the EuroLeague basketball. Zalgiris Kaunas over Barcelona, 91-84. Monaco over Anadolu Efes, 102-80. Let's give you a little update on the Lakers and Wizards game in the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Lakers lead by 8, 99-91. In the National Hockey League, after 20 minutes, at the 20-minute mark of the third period, we're going to overtime between the Vancouver Canucks and the Washington Capitals. They end regulation tied at 3. Czech Republic, after overtime, Plzeň beat Mladý Boleslav 3-2. In another overtime game, Viktovice over Olomouc 4-3. Pardubice over Karlovy Vary 3-2. Liberec over Kometa Brno 4-3. In Finland, their hockey league went like this. Hämeenlinna over Assat 6-3. In overtime, Karpat over Helsinki 1-0. Jakurit over Saipa 2-0. JYP over Kuku 5-3. Pelicans over Turku 4-1. Vasan Sport over Kalpa 2-1. And in the Nippon Professional Baseball League preseason action, let's go to it. One game already in the books. The Yomiuri Giants beat the Oric Buffaloes. Oric Buffaloes beat the Yomiuri Giants 6-1. Right now, partial scores, 5th inning. Cebu Lions 3, Shibalade Marines 1. In the 6th, Hanshin Tigers over the Chunichi Dragons 3-0. 6th inning, Hiroshima Carp and the Nippon Ham Fighters are tied at 1. Rakuten Gold Eagles over the Ohama Bay Stars 3-1 in the 6th. In the 4th inning, in the 5th inning, the Yakult Swallows lead the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 9-1. And in the 3rd, the Yomiuri Giants lead the Oric Buffaloes 1-0. In World Test Series cricket, England leads by 153 runs with 9 wickets remaining in the 2nd innings. And in the 1st inning of the international competition, Australia won the toss and elected to bat. All right. And in the other cricket, the West Indies women require about another 255 runs with 10 wickets and 249 balls remaining. So there you have it right there. Glad to have done it. All right. Oh, we're not leaving the air yet. We have to bring aboard our media. And Fox looks like they might be in need of a little help. Let's go to our media scrum. In one of the more jaw-dropping sports media moves in history, Joe Buck is reportedly moving from Fox Sports to ESPN, where he'll team up with Troy Aikman to call Monday Night Football. Now, per a report in the New York Post, Buck has been allowed to talk to ESPN by Fox, who's prepared to let him out of his contract 1 year early. Like Aikman, Buck is expected to get a 5 year deal from ESPN, though his salary won't be as exorbitant as Aikman's. Skull. Mm. Mm. Earlier this week, Aikman said that his talks with Fox couldn't reach a fair value, which led him to his eventual departure to ESPN, what the Post was reporting a 5 year, $92.5 million deal. Buck and Aikman will give ESPN the caliber of Monday Night Football broadcast team it has lacked since Mike Tirico left for NBC. It also gives the network a top tier now. As for Fox, they now have three significant roles to fill: lead NFL play by play broadcaster, lead analyst, and lead MLB play by play broadcaster. Easy solution on the NFL side would be to bump everyone up a notch, but with all due respect to Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson, it's tough to imagine them calling the Super Bowl in 11 months. Could Fox potentially lure someone like Al Michaels away from Amazon? His off-league next home over the last few months. Stay tuned. On the MLB side, it seems like this will now be Joe Davis's time to shine, just as it was Buck's time to shine on the MLB package more than 2 decades ago. He's essentially been Fox's number two MLB play-by-play broadcaster over the last couple of years, and giving him the top job does make sense. Speaking of which, and we were speaking of which, let's talk NBC and the Peacock package. It turns out Major League Baseball streaming deal with Peacock isn't for the midweek non-exclusive games dumped by ESPN in their new TV deal with baseball. It's for a brand new package of Sunday games with start times as early as 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This news comes from the Wall Street Journal, which reports that the 18-game package of games will be on Peacock's premium tier, which means you got to pay a boatload of money to see them, and will indeed be exclusive, meaning they won't be available on MLB TV, Extra Innings, or the regional sports nets of the competing teams. Ooh. Sunday afternoon games were part of Turner's old MLB deal, though many of those games lacked full exclusivity. The new TV deal Turner has with Major League Baseball contains exclusive Tuesday night games. Now, Major League Baseball, I have a feeling, wants to add more broadcast partners and drag even more TV money into their coffers, but this is getting ridiculous. In 2022, there'll be exclusive Sunday late morning, early afternoon games on Peacock, Sunday night games on ESPN, Tuesday night games on TBS, Friday night games on Apple, and games in various Saturday windows on Fox, along with a variety of games on MLB Network. It's way too much, and while one team probably isn't going to get pounded with, there we go. And let's put it this way, it's a wild mess. That's right. But it's a good mess if you happen to be Major League Baseball. It's a mess you may or may not have to worry about. Okay. That is, wow, we did it. We made everybody happy. We done it. It is time now for us to say our au revoirs to you, folks. Thank you for a wonderful week. Let's do this again tomorrow night, 11:35 p.m. Eastern, right here on the L2C Media Network. And until we meet again, I am Steve Baxley for my camera cat Uno and everyone else who's been a part of this show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. From the Tom O'Neill Studios and the Fred McLeod Sports Desk, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley, saying this has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. From everyone, remember, keep them sporty balls shining like a light so it can blind the enemies. and make our sports world super. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great evening and a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow at 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Good night, everybody.